DETV News is powered by DART, Delaware's transit service. Moving forward.
Tonight, a tip leads to the discovery of a handgun in a student's backpack. Find out what action school officials are taking to ensure student safety. Plus, nearly $4.5 million in Delaware lottery winnings remain unclaimed. Find out which tickets are still up for grabs. And internet outages and service disruptions continue after a ransomware threat. What's being done to restore access for the public? Those stories and much more straight ahead tonight on DETV News. Good evening and welcome to this DETV News Brief. I'm Matt Ford. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. Here's what's making headlines today across the first state. U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers at the Port of Wilmington have seized over $150,000 worth of counterfeit luxury handbags. The fake bags, which included high-end brands like Chanel, Gucci, and Louis Vuitton, arrived from China on September 4th and were headed to Newark, Delaware. Customs officers detained the shipment and confirmed the bags were indeed counterfeit. This seizure allows a similar bust a week earlier, where 277 counterfeit Lululemon belt bags were apparently worth $13,000 were intercepted. The port director warned that sellers of fake goods prioritize profits over public safety, and they urged consumers to only buy from trusted retailers. And a tip led to the discovery of a handgun in a student's backpack at William Penn High School yesterday. Officials say the school resource officer intervened and there was no direct threat to students or staff. State police arrested the 14-year-old student who faces weapons charges and is being held on $30,000 cash bail at the Newcastle County Detention Center. In a message to the community, school officials said that they're reviewing and strengthening security procedures to ensure a safe environment for all students. Downstate now, where a serious crash in Sussex County late Tuesday night sent many people to the hospital. Emergency crews responded to a crash on August Road around 10 p.m. Tuesday night. Authorities say one adult and two kids were ejected from the vehicle. The adult woman was airlifted to a trauma center with life-threatening injuries, while the children were taken to a local hospital by ambulance. Police are currently searching for the driver, who reportedly fled that scene. The crash remains under investigation. And the Delaware Department of Natural Resources has lifted its swimming advisory we told you about for the ocean beaches, but the source of the medical waste that washed ashore last week, that still remains unknown. The medical waste, which included needles and trash, began washing up from Assateague Island in Virginia all the way up to Lewis on September 15th. Beaches in Maryland and Delaware issued swimming advisories, with some closing entirely. Officials say no additional waste has been found and all beaches have been reopened. The Maryland Department of Natural Resources is leading the investigation into the waste origin. And Delaware libraries are facing technical issues and internet outages that have affected public computers, Wi-Fi, and printing services for several days now. Some branches have had to close temporarily, so visitors are advised to check ahead before visiting. While the online catalog and e-media services remain available, the disruption is under investigation. WBOC-TV reports that the library system received a ransomware threat last Friday, but the state has refused to pay that ransom and is now working to rebuild its systems. The cyber attack has not only impacted individuals needing access to the internet, but also community services hosted by the libraries. The libraries will remain open, but there will be no internet or printing access until the issues are resolved, leaving both staff and community members eager for a solution there. And nearly $4.5 million in Delaware lottery winnings remains unclaimed tonight, and time is running out for some winners to come forward. 6 tickets worth over $10,000, including a $4 million Mega Millions ticket sold at the Redner store in Camden, Delaware, for the August 20th drawing, are still unclaimed. The $4 million prize resulted from matching all 5 main numbers, as well as purchasing the $1 Mega Plier, which quadrupled that payout. The most urgent unclaimed prize is a $50,000 Powerball ticket sold at the Lewis Wawa on Dartmouth Drive. That expires this coming Monday, September 30th. Unclaimed tickets must be claimed within a year, or the prize goes back to the lottery's general fund. Winning numbers can be found on the Delaware Lottery website. Delaware law allows winners to remain anonymous. To Georgetown now, where the Rosa Health Center in Georgetown broke ground Tuesday on a $2.4 million expansion to meet the growing demand for health care in the area. Opened back in 2015, the center currently operates from a small repurposed home with just 2 exam rooms. The expansion will add 6 more rooms for a total of 8, allowing the clinic to serve 4 times as many patients. The center's medical director says the project will help them provide better care to the underserved, including a large Hispanic population. The expansion will also include space for health education and community outreach. Construction is expected to take about a year. And the Food Bank of Delaware is kicking off its Thanksgiving food drive 2 weeks earlier than usual this year. Normally, the food drive starts in October, but with grocery prices on the rise, more people are turning to the food bank for help. The food bank's pantry centers were utilized over 46,000 times last year. The food bank says they're committed to making sure everyone in Delaware has a holiday meal, but they need the community's help to do it. Donations are being accepted at their locations in Newark and Milford, and they're asking for everything to be dropped off by November 8th to get meals out in time for Thanksgiving. Most needed items include canned veggies, soups, and frozen turkeys. You can find all the details on the Food Bank of Delaware's website. And Delaware's tall ship, the Kalmar Nickel, is wrapping up its stay in Mystic, Connecticut. After a month of inspections and maintenance, officers were able to pull the Kalmar Nickel out of the water to work on the hull, repaint it, check some valves, and even straighten the propeller shaft. The ship also passed its U.S. Coast Guard inspection while it was there. The Kalmar Nickel was refloated earlier this week and was set sail back here to Delaware. But weather might push that trip back a few days since we're in store for some rain. It's scheduled to start its fall sailing season in Wilmington on September 28th. And some exciting news in the education world here. 2 Delaware schools have earned one of the nation's top honors this week. Cedar Lane Elementary in Middletown and Major George C. Welch Elementary in Dover Air Force Base have been named 2024 National Blue Ribbon Schools. This honor recognizes academic excellence or significant strides in closing achievement gaps. The U.S. Department of Education highlighted the school as exemplary high-performing schools for their top state performance. Only 356 schools nationwide earned this recognition this year. U.S. Secretary Miguel Cardona praised the schools, calling them models of instructional excellence for the nation. According to the Department of Education, schools honored by the Blue Ribbon program reflect the diversity of American education and serve students from all backgrounds. And continuing in some educational kudos here, Delaware State University is celebrating a significant achievement this week. It has been ranked the 3rd best public historically black college and university by U.S. News & World Report's 2025 ranking. This marks the 5th straight year the university has made the top 3. DSU also maintained its strong position, coming in 9th overall among all HBCUs. The rankings were released on Tuesday, just after last week's White House HBCU Week conference, where President Joe Biden reaffirmed a $17 billion commitment to HBCUs. To Delaware State President Tony Allen said this recognition highlights the university's focus on outcomes, including graduation rates and economic mobility for students from low-income communities. The university is experiencing enrollment growth thanks to the state-sponsored Inspire Scholarship and a research portfolio that has expanded to nearly $30 million. Delaware State continues to lead in various areas, including hosting the National HBCU Philanthropy Symposium and Black Farmers Conference, and training more pilots of color through its aviation program than any other institution. And finally this evening, we bring you the recent ribbon cutting for the African American Heritage Institute, a center which will research, record, preserve, and celebrate the history and heritage of African Americans in Wilmington and beyond. Here's Evan with more.
At 10 a.m. on a windy September 23rd, Wilmington locals and government officials converged at the corner of East 11th Street and Clifford Brown Walk, celebrating the groundbreaking of Wilmington's soon-to-be African American Heritage Center. The event, attended by Wilmington's first Black mayor Jim Sills, representatives of Matt Meyer, and others, harkened in the construction of a building that will honor influential Black Delawareans past and present, while serving as the Delaware African American Heritage Council's base of operations.
There's so much history here, but it needs to be highlighted. We need to make it accessible, available to people, and we need to do it in a very 21st century, cutting-edge fashion.
According to Helen Foster, board member and project manager for the African American Heritage Institute, the location for the center was explicitly linked to the decision to create a building like this at all. Once complete, the center will be a celebration of the lives of important African Americans, highlighting their courage in the face of adversity and the way their actions continue to shape Wilmington and forge a sense of belonging for Black youth. The building's architects and construction crew at Tri-State 3D tech and design firm also spoke Monday morning, discussing the homages to the city embedded within their design. The center will use a modernized version of the architectural styles present in the buildings preceding it, acting as a testament to Wilmington history both inside and out.
So history is a living tool, a living asset. We want to make sure that people know about it and that our community has a reason to be proud of what's going on the east side.
We hope this project goes smoothly and look forward to seeing how it unites and inspires the community. This is Evan Giresto with DETV, signing off.
Nice report there, Evan. Thank you for that. And that's going to do it for this DETV News Brief for tonight. Don't forget to follow us all across your favorite social media platforms for more updates on what's happening around Delaware. And if you have a comment, question, or a news tip, feel free to send it our way. Contact us at press@detvch.com. For all of us here at DETV News, I'm Matt Ford. Have a great night. We don't talk about prostate cancer enough, and it's the most diagnosed form of cancer and the second most common cause of cancer death among Black men in both Delaware and the United States. Approximately 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime, but just by asking your healthcare provider if you should get a screening could help you detect prostate cancer early and save your life. So let's talk about it. Talk to your healthcare provider today about a prostate cancer screening if you are 40 years of age or older, or have a family history of prostate cancer. If you don't have insurance, or if your insurance doesn't pay for cancer screenings, Screening for Life may provide you with the screenings that you need, and Nurse Navigators make this process easier. To learn more, visit healthydelaware.org/prostate or call 211. Ask your healthcare provider about a prostate cancer screening, and you're asking for so much more.
My name is Jason Aviles, and I am the founder and owner of Fly Yogi, and I'm here to share with you some tips to be able to help fight opioid addiction. Opioid addiction is a real growing problem here in America, and I'm here to share with you some tips that you can be able to integrate into your everyday life to really fight against opioid addiction. One of the first things is redeveloping your mindset. One of the practices that I like to use daily is meditation. And what meditation does is it brings you clarity of mind, and it helps keep you grounded, and it improves your ability to make decisions that you are going to benefit from. A lot of the time we find that addiction is rooted in our mindset. It's rooted in how we think and how we perceive, and therefore how we act. So this is a really good way to help fight against that energy of addiction. The second thing is improving your lifestyle through diet and exercise. At the very root of addiction, there is substances within the body that's causing the addiction on a physical level. When we begin to introduce healthier foods, plant-based foods, we begin to remove and detox the substances that are in our body that's causing and attracting the addiction. So through incorporating more fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, and even drinking water on a daily basis, you're going to put your body in a state where it's going to be able to fight the root causes of these addictions. The second part is exercise. Exercise is good for mood. It's good for energy. It's good to increase vitality. It's good to get your heart pumping and get your blood flowing and get oxygen moving throughout the body. So through engaging in physical exercise, complemented by incorporating healthier foods, you're putting your body and your mind in a state where it does not want what's causing these things that are manifesting negatively in your life. So addiction can really be decreased by just incorporating a healthier lifestyle through diet and nutrition, exercise, and then also making sure that you're tackling the mind through mindset, through meditation.